Coming up, Alex and I take a look at this video submitted by Steve. That's him in the far court on the right-hand side playing with Greg against Jacob and Dawn in the near court. We got a lot to talk about. Let's break it down. Here's how this works. You send us highlights, great plays, good plays, and not so good plays. With the help of Coach Alex Fox, we break it down. You learn, we watch, and we all get better. This is Pickleball Breakdown.
3-1-1.
Before we get started, let's talk about this court. This is an amazing court. First of all, look at that view. This is in Palos Verdes, California.
I want to go there very badly.
Yeah, I mean, I would worry about hitting balls over that fence.
I'm not. I will go there willingly.
All right, Steve, we are open to your invitation to come play in your court. All right, let's walk through this point. I'm going to stop this right from the start. So we've got Jacob and Dawn here on the near side, and I'm going to stop it right there because I want you to tell me on this drive here from Dawn. We haven't talked about this actually.
Okay.
Drive versus drop here. Ooh. Like clearly, Dawn's is all in on the drive here, and he puts it right on Steve. First of all, is he in the right spot? Is this the right play for him as he sets up for this drive on the third shot?
So yes, that's a ball I would drive, and we got a classic shake and bake situation here, a drive and poach. What you want to make sure you do on the drive and poach is you want to drive it at the player who is straight across from you and not cross court. That way it's giving your partner free reign to poach that next ball that your opponent hits back, as Jacob's able to do here pretty effectively.
And so Dawn does his job because Steve does exactly that. On this drive by Dawn, Steve just puts a paddle on it, and there's the pop-up right there for Jacob.
Right. One thing that I would like to see Dawn do is, you see how he's very flat-footed here when he hits this? I would like to see him get his body into this a little bit more. Not saying he has to hit it harder, but keep his momentum going forward, so if they pop it up more to his side of the court, he's still able to close on a ball like that, or at least gain some ground, but he's pinning himself back here unnecessarily. It's a good drive, but I would just like to see him continue forward on this.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk about on this play is poor Steve. The first two times he touches the ball on this point, he pops it up for Jacob. So take a look and tell me, what advice are you going to give to poor Steve? He's a big guy. He's got a lot of reach over there. What can Steve do differently besides pop the ball up on the first two times he touches? There's one, and there's a second.
So in both of these cases, Steve is reaching. He's not bending or absorbing the ball, or he's not able to direct that ball in any way. He's just kind of sending up a prayer, so to speak. For me, there's no real reason to be caught off guard by a third shot drive. You can expect it. Like I always say, expect the fastball. It's even easier when your opponents are back. So if they're driving at you from the baseline, expect that drive. Why not? The second pop-up, I mean, he was just taking the brunt of it from Jacob there, so that's a tough one in itself.
So Jacob did put a pretty good looking on him on that one, and good on Steve for just getting that ball back over because he gave his team another chance. But let's talk about the attack on that second pop-up now from Jacob, because what I see here is Jacob doesn't really put himself in a good position to hit this second one.
All I can say is I'm pretty sure Jacob had the sun right in his eyes, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, and that's why he kind of hit it that way. You're welcome, Jacob. I'll take a beer. That's all right. But yeah, he should have went back a little bit farther and just clobbered that ball.
Here in Seattle, we wish we had the sun in our eyes more. But down there in California, I guess it's a regular occurrence that you had the sun.
I guess so. We'll have to go see for ourselves.
So Jacob doesn't get the best on that second one, but Greg and Steve are in the point. And so let's move along here. And what I'm going to have you take a look at now is there was a nice little fake there by Greg. But then Greg does this shot right here where he just kind of lunges for it again and pops it right back up.
So I think he was obviously trying to hit that a little softer. So this is very big with drilling. You have to be able to have a good feel for the ball. The ball weighs more out of the air than it does when it bounces, obviously. You have more force behind it. So getting that touch, getting that right feel for how much you need to hit that ball to get it to drop where you want to is a learned skill, and you have to drill it to get comfortable with it.
Okay, so it keeps the point alive again, and then really we just get to the end game because Jacob lets this ball get too far behind him, and he's moving back while he's hitting that ball, and that pretty much ends the point. So in essence, Greg and Steve weather the storm, and they're able to survive.
I would have liked to see Jacob and Don continue keeping that pressure on because they were really in control of this whole point. And just at the end there, they made some decisions that just kind of kept Greg and Steve hanging around, and didn't choose to be aggressive, and they were more reactionary in that situation.
That's going to do it for this episode of Pickleball Breakdown. If you want us to break down your game, send a link to your video to pickleballbreakdown@gmail.com. If you liked this episode, share it, like it, and subscribe. See you next time.